West Nile virus has surfaced in the state of Wisconsin and has left 2 people dead and an elderly woman hospitalized. Now, late summer is prime season for the mosquitoes carrying the virus. Health officials say that the tall grass is where they hide during the daylight, and it is the early morning hours and the evening hours when these mosquitoes who do carry West Nile virus are most active.
The West Nile virus is endemic, especially in Wisconsin, meaning it's always going to be here in mosquitoes and in birds. Those are the 2 carriers that cycle through.
Now, the latest numbers for here in North Dakota show that there have been 10 cases of West Nile. However, none of the cases have been in Cass County.